Hello everyone. Welcome back. In today's session, we'll be diving into how to use SQLite with Python. This will help you understand how to interact with a database directly from your Python programs. Before we jump into coding, if you haven't set up SQLite yet or are unfamiliar with running SQL queries in the command prompt, I highly recommend checking out our previous video. In that session, we covered how to install SQLite, create databases, and execute basic SQL commands using the command line. That knowledge will make today's session much easier to follow. For this session, we will be working with an existing database file named sample.db. This file should already be present in your working directory. Please ensure that sample.db is located in C:\training whitespace test before proceeding. If the file is missing, you may need to create it or restore it from a backup. One of the great things about SQLite is that no additional installation is required when using it with Python. Python provides a built-in module called SQLite 3, so we can start using it immediately without needing to install any external libraries. To interact with the database, the first step is to open a connection to our database file. This connection acts as a bridge between our Python script and the database, allowing us to execute SQL queries. Refer to the screenshot for details on how we establish this connection. Once connected, we'll proceed with inserting data into a table. We will insert two records, and we'll use parameterized queries, using placeholders, to prevent SQL injection attacks. This is an important security practice when dealing with databases. Please refer to the screenshot for the insert statements. At the end of the insert operation, we use commit to save the changes permanently. Without committing, the data will not be stored in the database. After inserting data, we'll retrieve it using a select query. This query will fetch all the records from the table. We will then loop through each record and display them one by one. This will allow us to see the data that we just inserted and verify that it has been correctly stored in the database. Refer to the screenshot for details on how we fetch and display the records. Finally, once we have completed all operations, we will close the connection. Closing the connection ensures that all changes are properly saved and that resources are freed up. Keeping a database connection open for too long can lead to performance issues, so it's always a good practice to close it when it's no longer needed. Finally, run the program from the command prompt as shown and observe the results. That's it for today's session. You've learned how to connect to SQLite in Python, insert records, retrieve and display data, and close the connection. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Also, don't forget to check out our previous video for a refresher on SQLite basics. Thank you, and happy coding!